Today we are talking about an Indian aircraft carrier that's starting to look more like a liability than an asset. When India first got this carrier, the deal looked almost too good to pass up. You couldn't really ask for much more. But then the same ship arrived years late, the cost kept climbing, and even after it enters service, the problem just didn't stop. We are talking about INS Vikramaditya. On one side, you have Vikramaditya. On the other, you have INS Vikrant, which India built entirely on its own. And that's exactly where the story starts to get interesting. Because the question isn't just what went wrong with Vikramaditya. The real question is that, does India need to keep depending on someone else for its future aircraft carriers? Let's break this down properly. In 2004, Russia offered India the Admiral Gorshkov. There was no upfront cost to acquire the ship itself. So on paper, the deal looked incredibly attractive. But to actually make the ship usable, it needed a massive refit. And naturally, India had to pay for that. The initial estimate for all this was around $974 million. On top of that, the aircraft and combat systems were expected to cost roughly another $1 billion. So, the ship was supposed to arrive in 2008. And 2008 came, but the carrier didn't. The refit kept getting delayed and the cost kept rising. By the time Vikramaditya finally reached India in 2013, the reported cost had climbed to around $2.35 billion. At that point, India had already sunk so much money into the project that backing down simply wasn't a practical decision. So, a deal that started out looking almost like a free warship ended up being anything but cheap. But honestly, money wasn't even the biggest problem. Things got a lot more serious once the ship actually entered service. In 2016, news broke that a toxic gas leak during maintenance had killed 2 personnel. Then in 2017, a hydraulic failure forced a MiG-29K into an emergency landing. In 2019, there was a fire in the boiler room. In 2020, a MiG-29K UB crashed in the Arabian Sea. And in 2022, there was reports of fire incidents during sea trials. Now, accidents can happen on any warship. But when incidents keep showing up again and again, forming a pattern, a natural question comes up that, how reliable is this platform? And apart from that, there was another problem here, maybe an even bigger one, and it is still a problem today. The problem of tech-based MiG-29K fighter jets. Because an aircraft carrier's strength isn't just about its size. The fighter jets operating off its deck matter just as much. India acquired 45 MiG-29K and KUB fighters along with Vikramaditya. But according to the CAG's assessment, the serviceability of these aircraft was worryingly low. During the 2016 audit, that figure sat somewhere between 21 and 47%. In simple terms, in some situations, less than half of the fleet was actually available. Their engines were a major issue too. Out of 65 RD-33MK engines, 40 were rejected or withdrawn. So, the result was this: the carrier had fighter jets on paper, but their reliability had become a serious concern. And this wasn't just a paperwork problem. Since 2018, at least 5 MiG-29K aircraft have been destroyed in crashes. To address this exact capability gap, India signed an agreement with France to procure 26 Rafale Marine fighters, a deal reportedly worth around 63,000 crore rupees. Now, here is where the story takes an interesting turn, and that's the story of INS Vikrant. India acquired Vikramaditya from Russia and put it through a massive refit. But with Vikrant, India built that on its own. And that difference matters a lot. Because building an aircraft carrier isn't a simple shipbuilding project. You need everything to build it, like from design to construction, systems integration, and aviation operations, etc. etc. and that means developing a whole lot of complex capabilities. Vikrant has already proven at least one thing: India can do this. And according to reports, by early 2026, Vikrant has completed 1000 arrested landings without a single mishap. So, Vikrant's importance isn't just that it was built in India. What matters is that it gave a real, practical demonstration of India's industrial and naval capability. But that doesn't mean the problem is solved. Vikramaditya is an aging platform, and if India wants to keep maintaining its carrier capability, the question of replacement can't be pushed off any longer. That's the context behind the future carrier IAC-2 or INS Vishal. Reportedly, this proposed carrier could weigh around 65,000 tons with a projected cost of more than 50,000 crore. But here is something simple that's worth understanding. You don't order an aircraft carrier today and have it at sea tomorrow. Things like design, construction, testing, induction, all of it takes years. So, if India wants to hold on to its carrier capability in the future, the planning has to start by now. And maybe that's the most important lesson from Vikramaditya's story. But that doesn't mean India should never rely on foreign technology. That would be an oversimplification. The real thing that we should understand is something else. For platforms that are critical to India's long-term strategic capability, and being permanently dependent on someone else for that is really not a good strategy. Vikramaditya showed India the problems that come with dependence. Vikrant showed an alternative. And going forward, India has a choice to just operate powerful carriers or build the kind of capability where India can design, build, maintain and upgrade them on its own. Because real self-reliance isn't about having a powerful warship standing in your harbor. Real self-reliance is when that warship's future is in your hands. And with that, we come to the end of this video. What other Indian defense projects do you have concerns about? Let me know in the comment section. I'll try to pick up one of those issues and discuss it in detail in the next video. And if you enjoyed this video, please support the channel by liking the video and subscribing it. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next video.